NinjaTrader has just released 8.0.19.0 and there are 8 new features and 144 new fixes and changes. Will have a big impact on you. Let's go over all the main ones as we'll start with the new features and then go into the fixes right after this. $13844. So for those of you who do trade options, you can now do that through NinjaTrader 8. They now support options in 8.0.19.0, and there is a new option chain window that you can now use. 13661, they've added in an FX correlation window, which you can see here. The way that this works is the cells will range between -1 and 1, where a pair that is moving close together and in sync are going to have values closer to a +1, and pairs that are negative or closer to -1 are pairs that are going to be moving apart from one another. 13755, so with the above correlation window, they've added in a new indicator that maps the value onto a chart, which gets put into a new panel. So what is the new correlation of a stock? What is it comparing it to? Well, you can put that into the indicator setting, and you might put something like a symbol like the SPY if you want to compare it to something like the S&P 500. 13534, this is probably the most useful feature that they've added. I'm glad to see it because some of the new hotkeys that we had submitted feature requests for are now part of this, so it's nice to see it being part of the NT software. That is the ability to load templates now by using a hotkey, as well as save templates via a hotkey. There is also another useful one, which is called an auto scale and return hotkey, which will scale the chart and return the current bar to the most far right area of your screen. So very useful. 13700, for those of you who do change colors all the time, the most recent colors will now be at the top of your selector window. 13672, there's now a save as default button, which has not been there in the platform ever, which might be a shock. It certainly was to me, but it was also one of the best NT8 secrets ever, if you can call it that. By calling a template the word default, it would load that by default. So now we have a button that does the same thing, which will make things more intuitive for NT8 users that are new to the platform. As far as fixes goes, there were 148 of them, but here are the ones that you might have hit that have now been resolved. 13941 and 13963, these have everything to do with chart performance. Okay, the way that drawings got rendered on the screen and how the chart would work with a global crosshairs, whether or not the crosshairs were on or off, how things would render. This is going to make NT8 a lot more snappier, so you should notice something with performance with your NT8, and this would be why. 13723, so if you ever renamed a chart tab that wasn't an active chart, it would end up throwing an error, and that's now been fixed. 13902, so if you ever had tried to edit an account while connected and got a weird error, this has now been fixed as well. So 13747, multi-line tooltips, I don't know if you noticed this, were kind of displayed a little funky. That has now been fixed as well. 13681, so if you ever use the market replay, you might have noticed that it doesn't actually play all the way up to current time. So this is an issue that's now been resolved in 8.0.19.0. 13722, so you probably see me hit this one in a recent video, but after setting the background color for the grid of a market analyzer, it would actually retain its value and wouldn't change the colors back. 13937, so if you change an indicator setting in a market analyzer column, it would automatically, or should automatically, change the label. It wasn't doing that for the auto-generated label, and that has now been fixed as well. 13923, so they resolved an error that could have been caused by a corrupt UI file. Now, they never gave any other details. I guess you have to ask for the bug report, but that issue has been fixed. So out of the 148 fixes or changes, these were some of the major ones. There were a lot of trivial ones that you would never have hit. So for example, if you were in the PST time zone and you were looking at the chart during a rollover period, like something very unusual, those bugs, there was a huge collection of those that they had ended up resolving. But these were the main ones that you actually might have hit that have now been resolved. So that pretty much wraps things up for this release. If you do like these summaries, please don't forget to subscribe, and of course let us know how much you like it by whacking that thumbs up button, and we'll keep doing them for you guys. Any questions, comments, or just want to say hi, feel free to toss that in the comments box below the video, and I'll make sure that I get back to each and every one of you. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.